The arena fell into an unnatural silence as Korath the Bone Crusher stepped into the fighting pit. His massive frame, standing nearly 12 feet tall, cast a shadow that seemed to swallow the light itself. The crowd of alien spectators pressed against the energy barriers, their various forms of communication creating a cacophony that had been building for hours. But now, as the galaxy's most feared warrior took his position, even the most boisterous voices quieted to whispers. Korath's forearms flexed, each one capable of crushing starship hulls with bare hands. His exoskeleton, evolved on a world where gravity was 3 times that of most inhabited planets, gleamed like polished obsidian under the arena lights. Scars from 1,000 victories marked his hide, trophy cuts from opponents who had managed to draw his blood before their inevitable defeat. The Vexarian announcer's voice boomed across the arena through universal translators. "Citizens of the Galactic Council, today we witness history. For the first time in 7 cycles, Korath the Bone Crusher faces a challenger foolish enough to enter voluntary combat." The crowd erupted. Voluntary combat was unheard of. Most of Korath's opponents were prisoners, criminals sentenced to die in the arena for the entertainment of the masses. But this challenger had actually requested the fight. From the recently discovered world designated as Earth, weighing only 180 units in standard gravity, standing barely 6 feet in height. The announcer paused, as if checking his notes for accuracy. "Marcus Chen, human." The laughter started immediately. Even the most bloodthirsty spectators found humor in the absurd mismatch. A human, the newest species to achieve faster-than-light travel, barely a century into their space age, sending their warrior against the undisputed champion of the galaxy. Marcus stepped into the arena wearing simple combat fatigues and boots. No armor, no weapons beyond what the rules allowed. A single blade of his choosing. He had selected something the aliens found quaint. A katana his grandfather had forged using traditional methods back on Earth. The metal seemed almost primitive compared to the plasma weapons and monomolecular edges available in galactic markets. The size difference was even more pronounced in person. Korath's smallest arm was thicker than Marcus's torso. When the alien warrior spoke, his voice was like grinding stone. "Little meat thing," Korath rumbled. "I have killed warriors from 50 worlds. I have torn apart the crimson berserkers of Vex Prime. I have crushed the bone ships of the stellar nomads with my bare hands. Why do you seek death so eagerly?" Marcus rolled his shoulders, loosening muscles that had been tense during the long walk to the arena. He looked up at the towering alien with calm brown eyes that held no trace of fear. "Because," Marcus said quietly, "someone needs to show you that size isn't everything." The crowd's laughter grew louder. Even Korath's mandibles clicked in what his species considered amusement. The human's confidence was either admirable or insane. "The rules are simple," the announcer continued. "Combat ends in death or surrender. Korath the Bone Crusher has never accepted surrender." Marcus nodded once. "Neither have I." The silence that followed was different from before. Something in the human's tone, the absolute certainty in his voice, made even the loudest spectators pause. Korath studied his opponent more carefully. He had expected panic, perhaps desperate bravado. Instead, he saw a predator's focus, the same look he had seen in mirror glass when preparing for his most dangerous fights. "You speak with confidence, little warrior," Korath said. "But I have fought your species' champions in simulation. Humans are weak, slow, fragile. Your world's gravity is laughable, your strength pathetic compared to real warriors." Marcus drew his katana in one smooth motion. The blade caught the arena lights, revealing the subtle patterns in the steel where thousands of layers had been folded together by his grandfather's patient hands. "You know what makes humans dangerous?" Marcus asked, settling into a stance that seemed too relaxed, too casual for someone facing certain death. "We don't just fight with our bodies." The starting bell rang with a crystalline chime that echoed through the arena. Korath moved with surprising speed for his size, all 4 arms striking simultaneously. It was a killing blow that had ended hundreds of fights in the first seconds. Marcus was already gone. The human had moved faster than the alien's enhanced reflexes could track, sliding under the massive strikes and appearing beside Korath's left leg. The katana moved like liquid silver, finding the gap between exoskeleton plates with surgical precision. Korath roared in pain and surprise. The first time in decades that an opponent had drawn his blood in an opening exchange. He spun, trying to catch the human in a crushing embrace, but Marcus flowed around the movement like water, his blade finding another gap, then another. Impossible, breathed a Thrakari noble in the VIP section. No one is that fast. But Marcus wasn't just fast, he was efficient. Every movement served multiple purposes: evade, strike, position for the next attack. While Korath relied on overwhelming strength and intimidation, the human fought like he was solving a puzzle, each cut revealing more about his opponent's defenses. Korath's blood, deep purple and steaming in the arena's atmosphere, began to pool on the floor. For the first time in 7 cycles, the crowd was completely silent. "You fight like the storms of my homeworld," Korath admitted, his voice carrying a note of respect that shocked everyone present. "Always moving, impossible to predict." Marcus paused his assault, katana held in perfect guard position. "On Earth we have a saying: the bamboo that bends in the storm survives while the mighty oak is uprooted." "And what does this mean, little storm?" Marcus smiled, not with cruelty or triumph, but with the quiet confidence of someone who had already won. "It means I don't need to be stronger than you, Korath. I just need to be better." The final exchange lasted 30 seconds. When it was over, the galaxy's strongest warrior lay on his back, Marcus's blade at his throat, purple blood mixing with the human's own red where Korath had managed to land a glancing blow. "Yield," Marcus said simply. For a heartbeat that seemed to stretch into eternity, the arena held its breath. Then Korath began to laugh, a deep rumbling sound that shook the floor. "I yield, little storm. I yield to the human." The crowd exploded into chaos as Marcus helped his fallen opponent to his feet. But in that moment, as the two warriors clasped hands in mutual respect, something fundamental shifted in the galaxy's understanding of humanity. They weren't just the newest species to reach for the stars. They were the ones who would reshape them.